All right, guys, welcome to part three. Where we last left was with these choices here in this array and a random number. And this random number needs to pick from this array. But as we can see here, when you want to access an element in an array, you have an index here. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and we want it to pick randomly. Math.random generates a decimal in JavaScript between 0 and 0.999999999. It never reaches 1, and that's important. So if we multiply it by 3, as we can see here in our element, I'll just go back over here and right click on this and say Reveal in Explorer, open it up in the browser, hello world, rock, and then Control-Shift-I, and we can see we get that. If we refresh, you can see we're getting different numbers with decimals. We never are going to get 3. We could get 0 point something, 1 point something, or 2 point something. And we need to get rid of the point something. And that, of course, as you may have seen in class, hopefully you've seen in class, is done with another math library tool called math.floor, which means it's going to get rid of the decimal. It's going to round down every time. So if we come back to our page and we refresh, you'll see we get integers, which is really handy because now we can access something in the array. So if this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2, we can do this, but we can also use this really cool tool called length, right? Dot length. If we do that, it's going to take the length of the array, and so however long this array length is. So if we had rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock, or something like that, like a 5-point rock, paper, scissors game, you could do that. So this makes it a little more abstract, more concept-based. So right now it'll turn that into 3. So again, if we refresh here, you'll see we get well, random numbers over there, and it's blinking through, right? So, so that's pretty handy. Now, instead of console logging just random, we can console.log. We're going to go ahead and use choices. But then we can say random here, which of course is based on choices, right? So that final console log here will actually give us that, right? We say, okay, pick rock, paper, scissors. I'm going to pick rock. And it keeps going through, right? Rock. I think I refreshed a few too many times. So there you go. You got rock there. The page says hello world, paper. And the user chose paper. This is no longer needed, this rock up here. If you'll recall, we console logged a specific choice, but that's not really helpful to us. We actually want to console log choices with random in it, right? So if I do that, you can see, hello world, pick rock, I picked rock. The computer chose scissors, which was from 2, right? So I win. But we need to now ask the computer that question. How do you know if you have won? Excuse me there. And that's going to require conditional statements or some way of evaluating. So we need to evaluate that. So let choices equal, let random equal. What we haven't done is we haven't set up the computer itself. So instead of console logging this, I'm going to say let CPU equal choices random. Okay? And that's great. So now we have a random number in CPU. And you can say something like, if CPU is equal to rock, then do something, right? You could even say, if you wanted to say something like, and user is equal to scissors, then alert, you lost. Now we'd want to probably give the user some more information than that, but that's the gist of it. So you can continue using this same logic structure to build out the rest of the game. Of course, we'll go into that a little more in depth, but basically what we've done is we've said CPU is choices with a random number in here, which is going to give us either rock or paper or scissors. And then we say if CPU happens to be rock and user picked scissors, then it's going to say you lost. So that's the basic use of that conditional statement. There are a number of different ways to do this, and of course you guys are invited to find different ways to execute on that, but we'll continue more on that idea in the next video.